I wasn't going to record again today. Last week was the first Thursday, other than Christmas, of this past year, since I started this podcast, that I didn't release a weekly Thursday episode. So I needed a break. I think sometimes when it's just you and you're trying to create something, whatever that is, you can lose motivation. Whatever it is going on in your life, so many factors, variables, and the environment can play a part in the struggle. This podcast is all about asking questions and learning and staying curious and being positive. And, well, today is not that day. Don't get me wrong. I'll always be a glass half full kind of girl. But I guess if I'm just reflecting pretty raw here, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of in the middle of the struggle. Not the before, not the after, just here. The waiting space, the unraveling space, the deck keeps building space, the resume keeps going into the ether space, and the work that I do does not reflect the value yet in which I need to exist in this part of the world. I guess I could change that somehow, but I'm in pretty deep at the moment. So I have a dog. His name is Mr. Jack Parker, retired. I usually just call him Jack. He is 17 years old, and he's not doing so hot. So I've been staying up at night, sleeping on the couch with him so I can just keep eyes on him while I care for him around the clock, giving him meds as he's, aging and having some underlying health conditions, undiagnosed Cushing's. He's my best friend. I love him so much. So I think my flip-flopping of night and day schedule and no routine and a little bit of the heavy emotional space I've been in at the moment is kind of leading to this more somber delivery today. So if you're here and this is not your jam or your vibe, I completely understand. But I had to put something out, and this is where I'm at. And I'm just going to be real today. Dealing with the weight of letting go. I know that goodbye is near for him and for us. And I guess the more I think about it, it's not even just with Jack. It's with a lot of things I've been having the time to dwell on because I can't seem to get hired anywhere. So, letting go of identity, letting go of dreams, letting go of illusions of control. That's a tough one. Trying to go ahead and rid myself of the badass facade I've always tried to put forth, and the positive, everything's okay, don't want to weigh you down with my problems kind of face that I always show. And, kind of go off that quote that says, grief is love with nowhere to go. That is definitely where I'm at right now. I am not spiraling. That is not what's happening. I think I'm pretty good at not letting that happen. But definitely the feeling of working really hard and barely staying afloat is something that I'm sure a lot of us can relate to these days, and what it does to a person's sense of worth. I guess the world praises resilience, but very rarely shows up when you're trying to survive. So anyway, holding on by a thread. And for anybody else out there who's maybe dealing with any of these sort of feelings and heaviness, well, you're not alone. That's obviously goes without saying, but sometimes hearing it's nice to hear. Yeah, right now I feel strong, but not. It's kind of like I feel like I'm a walking oxymoron right now, because I do always hold on to a little thread of hope. My thread is hope. So yeah, I guess when you feel like everything's just kind of crashing down and debt's piling up and nothing's happening in your timeline, you're in that moment of now during the whole process, linear and time-wise as it is. But that now means that with each passing moment, I guess you have to face it. I mean, unless you go down a really dark path. And I guess that means that you do survive and you must expand. So here's to expanding. And not turning to vices to numb what we need to feel through these processes. Because I feel like that just makes it worse. And I'm talking the negative vices. I mean, if your vice is running, go for it. Yeah, usually I pour a nice glass of bourbon or scotch and just sip on it and kind of go off into a world of imagination and daydreaming, and then it would get sad. So I'm not doing that. Trying to be a different me with each passing day, a better version of me. Because one day I feel like the door that I am meant to walk through eventually will open, and I'd rather not be a shell of myself when, I guess, opportunity and luck and timing, that whole intersection, unite. So, yeah, trying to build myself up to be a better version and get ready for that day that I know has to exist. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I still would not be here existing if there wasn't something to look forward to. I did enroll in school. I enrolled in some online courses. I'm getting my Bachelor of Arts and Science with a concentration in consciousness and human potential. I bet you if I didn't tell you what I was concentrating in, you probably could have guessed it based off of all the episodes that I've produced. But anyway, yeah, so I am looking forward to that, but that does not pay you anything unless you consider investing in your education and your knowledge and your growth, personal growth, payment, which I guess is, that is a form of payment to oneself. But anyways, I guess I'm just here to talk about how even though the world is a dumpster fire and I would rather just lay on my couch all day and cuddle with my dog for however much longer he has left, I guess I will encourage not just myself, but anybody else listening still to get off the couch and get outside, get out the door. If you don't have a car like me at the moment, just walk outside and find something beautiful in nature, or pay a stranger a compliment. As hard as it is to do, those things energetically make you feel a little better. Seeing the wonder of nature growing in spring, almost summer, and seeing the blue sky, Rayleigh's scattering the light particles up there. Anyway, I think that this is going to be one of those episodes that I wish I didn't publish because it's just sad. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because why not switch things up a little bit? If you're going through anything ridiculous and you just need to be seen or heard and you want to talk about it, feel free to drop a comment. You can drop it anonymously. You can say, hey, speaking for a friend, where you're really speaking for yourself. You don't want to out yourself. And let me know I'm not alone in this, because it definitely feels like that sometimes. hanging on by a thread of hope. I suppose our story isn't over just because today is hard. So yeah, I guess we should just give ourselves permission. I hate when people talk like that. We should feel what we want to feel and write in our journals or channel it through screaming into your pillow or punching a bag. How you feel, your emotions. I think that we internalize a lot, and the more you let that steep and build up, the more explosive it could potentially become if you don't have an outlet, if you're not talking to somebody or journaling or punching something or screaming into a pillow. Not everybody can be lucky to have a sound isolation voice booth like me, where I can just come in here and shut the door and scream. Won't do that to you right now. I'll do that with the microphone off in my own time. But yeah, to anybody out there who has lost their best friend, their furry best friend, I hear you, I feel you, I see you. It is not easy. Not easy at all. Especially those who have walked the road of having to say goodbye recently. Yeah, if you want to leave a little note to anybody else and how you're feeling in the comments, or if you want to provide any advice that maybe helped you, or just say, nope, it just sucks. It just really sucks, and you're still feeling it. I'd love to see that too, because in a world of filters and chat GPT rewrites and phony string puppets as our leaders right now, I would just be so happy and refreshed to see something real and to engage with some realism in people and in thought and in conversation. So here's to those who are struggling. Here's to those who are having a hard day. Much love to you. We've got this. And let me just be very clear. This is not a pity party. This is not me reaching into the interwebs and outer webs for a helping hand or anything like that. It's just me showing up because I made a commitment to do that. And I feel like if you can't commit to yourself and keep the promises you make to yourself, then how can you do that with anything else in your life or for anyone else in your life? So thank you for being here in this moment. I'll see you in the next one.
When you give every part of yourself space to be, something sacred happens. A silent unification between who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming begins to take place.
Thank you for tuning in to Curious Minds, Infinite Answers. I'm Courtney Christine Koskin, and I hope you'll join me for next week's episode as we proceed down the path of curiosity and discovery, uncovering various topics along the way. If you have any comments or want answers to your burning curiosities, drop me a line in the comments below. Until we meet again, find the good in the world, and if you can't find it, be the good.